Hello and welcome to anyone and everyone who's decided to watch this video. Today, I'm continuing my walk down the Blokees rabbit hole, with this video being about Optimus Primal. Both of them. Yes. Staunch professionalism. Like most licensors for Transformers, Blokees is not allowed to make toys of characters that actually transform, and I mean, that's not really what Blokees toys are meant to do anyway, so that's just fine for them, but that does not restrict them from doing beast modes for beast characters that don't transform, along with their robot modes. So for Primal and seemingly no other Maximal, we got two figures of him, because, I mean, they haven't done any of the other Maximals, and I don't know. And I don't know if they ever will. But I got both of the Primals, and honestly, I was afraid that these two were going to be my least favorites. And I think they're some of my favorites, especially this guy, the robot mode one. I just really, really like him. I really like him a lot. And yeah, as we can see, his lights here are nice and green, very bright, very, very different to see a Transformer with green in him instead of like the blues and reds of their eyes. That's just, green is a very unusual color for the energy that Transformers got flowing through their bodies. And yeah, he's really very simple looking. He's all gray. It's almost like he's a gorilla or something. But, you know, he's got good proportions. He's Optimus Primal. Primal's always been a cool looking bot. And also, look at the size disparity. Just look at him next to the gorilla and like how much size he changes between these two figures. Like, this is some mass shifting going on right here in the Blokees universe. Like, look at these two. Like, how are those arms, these gigantic gains, the slightly less gigantic gains of Robot Primal here? Like, that's amazing. I kind of love the juxtaposition between the two, but we'll wait for the gorilla. He will have his time in this video. Today we are talking about the robot, and yeah, he's just a cool-looking Primal figure. One flaw I can admit is the sculpting for his crotch piece is limiting how far out you can move his hips forward, and I just launched off his crotch piece because I was banging it into it repeatedly. And also, like Mirage that I reviewed previously, you can see a bit of his traditional Blokees torso in there. And I was shaking him up earlier because I guess I haven't pointed out yet that apparently to activate the LEDs, you're just supposed to move them, not bash them on the head like I was thinking. And, you know, that's an interesting choice. And, yeah, he's also got these drop-down hips that I haven't seen. Shoulders that I haven't seen yet on a figure. And that was pretty cool to see. I don't know if he inherently needed them to get the movement he's got, but it does allow his shoulders to look more flush with the body, which is good. But other than that, just bring in Mirage, since I keep bringing him up. It's like the exact same articulation, just on Primal. And yeah, and here's a little scale with Mirage. He is about a centimeter bigger, because another thing about these classic classes is that they got more scale to them, whereas the regular Blokees from Galaxy and stuff are kind of all the same height. And, you know, it's pretty cool, pretty nice. Obviously, Primal should be, like, way bigger than Mirage, as we saw in the movie, but, you know, for these little cutesy guys, a centimeter is all we need for height difference, and it works pretty well. And also, while we're talking about scale, let's bring in Leader Class Primal, who doesn't even fit, so we're going to have to zoom out our camera and look at the difference between them and how he does not have a faceplate, whereas Blokees Primal does. One thing they do both have in common, though, is how hard it is to see their maximal symbols, at least in person. Now that they're being zoomed in on the camera, I feel like I can see the painted symbol here a little bit better. Still not that well because it's silver on silver, so weird choice there. And that one is, of course, molded into the little green crest there, so he gets some extra LED usage. But yeah, and we can see the color tone differences between them and how Blokees is a lot more gunmetal gray, that kind of again, professionalism. That all kind of blends into each other in a very naturalistic way, very almost mimicking the fur of an animal, because, I mean, parts of him are furry still. And that is basically how it is in the movie, whereas this one is a lot more of a blackish gray with these more kind of brownish grays. Like there's like a little smidgen of brown in this part that helps delineate parts of him from each other. And I mean, I love them both. I think they're both beautiful, good-looking Primal toys, but this one looks like the movie, this one doesn't. And yeah, so we'll bring him back here. And obviously, we saw some things on that Primal that we haven't seen on this one yet, which are, yes, he does come with alternate hands. Of course, he's got some fisties, for, you probably guessed, his swords. And he can just slot them in easily and get ready to battle whoever you want him to. He can go slash, 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 slashy, slash, 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 shoom, shoom, shoom. That kind of stuff. That's what swordsmen do. And, of course, he can do the combined swords thing that Primal does. It's not like the swords are actively combining here. It's just the port is big enough that he can hold both swords in one hand, and he can raise it up and be like, Maximus, charge! And go off into battle. And even though he has that face-plated face that is what we saw his robot mode having in the movie, he does also come with the more iconic Primal mouth face, and I'm actually not a big fan of him having it. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show off the swap on camera, and how this is probably the last time I'm ever going to swap the faces on this guy, because I like him having the movie-accurate faceplate, and this is the only toy of him I'm ever going to have that will have the faceplate. And yeah, I'm going to do this swap off camera, because it's really, I actually think it's pretty hard. You have to take off this piece and then swap it. And they say you can do it while leaving him attached, but I don't think it's that. I haven't been able to do it that way, so we're just going to do this off camera for a second. Lo and behold, I take it off camera to do it, and for the first time ever, it's the face that came off first and not the helmet. So apparently it is possible. So we'll take the exposed mouth one, slot it on there, put it on, and you can see what that looks like. I think it doesn't look as good on the Blokees figure specifically. I do normally really like this look for Primal. Bring in the Studio Series again. And probably my biggest thing why I don't like it on this one is that they didn't paint the mouth differently. So that's probably why I don't like it, because now it just looks like a mess of sculpt. So yeah, and I have my Studio Series movie Primal to be the one with the mouth, so this one I will have, see if I can, okay, now that I do a video on it, it's just really easy to swap the faces. That's what he looks like without a face, by the way. Oh, it's so creepy. Not really. This will be my face-plated Primal, and I'm fine with that. And yeah, very, very fun. He's really simple. Like, he's arguably the most simple Blokees figure I've ever gotten. but he just works. And maybe I'm a Primal stand. I'd argue I am, and I'm definitely a movieverse fan. I love me and my live action Transformers, so having another nice fun toy of live action Primal, really like it, and I wasn't expecting to be as in love with this one as I am, and I'm glad to be wrong. One Primal begats another, so let's talk about the ape one, which, now that I say it, I'm pretty sure the ape one that was actually released first. And his LEDs work very differently, because instead of having a torso piece, it's actually the top of his head, and as you can see, his glows very well, and it's inside his mouth, and the white can bleed through parts of it, so close that up. Yeah, and he does have articulation, and when you an articulated jaw, so he's not always being like, roar! He can be calm, and when you lean him forward like this, it kind of pushes his jaw open when you lean his head forward, which is, yeah, that's kind of interesting that it can do that. And yeah, he's just a big monkey. He's a big gorilla toy. He does what gorillas do. He has a nice ball joint at the waist to move around in. He's got these big butterflies for his shoulders, which I was not expecting. He's got some crazy arm movement here. He can do lots of stuff. He can get into many monkey poses. Anything you want him to. His legs are very limited, though. No knees, just hip and foot, but like you can't get that much out of the foot. It's basically just a rotation. There's like a little bit of wiggle. Actually, yeah, here's some forward back, but like no real side to side. Just forward back rotation, and that's fine. He's just a big old gorilla toy, and that's pretty neat. It's kind of cool to get a toy signifying a beast mode for a beast character, when, you gotta make figures of them that don't transform. Popping parts off of him. And yeah, he is very light. That is one thing I have to critique about him. He doesn't feel as heavy as he probably should for his size, but he is still a $14 toy, and he's got the big ports in the feet, so you can put him on the stand and just have him be. He can hold on there just fine, and yeah, and he can do his monkey poses. And let's do a comparison again with the Studio Series, and you can see the same color differences between this guy, where it's all basically this one gunmetal gray that seams throughout the robot seamlessly. Stuff falling off screen now. I just can't say anything right today. And this guy's got like the multiple shades and the differences going around him. But hey, this one, it's got the big lights. And now he won't do them. But yeah, and obviously this one beats the Studio Series when it comes to posability, because like most beast formers, the articulation is prioritized in the robot mode, so the beast mode, as cool as it is, can't do that much. I mean, we all know what the legs are like on the Studio Series. I love this toy, I love both modes, but like the ape can only do so much. And let's bring in Mirage again for comparison with a base Blokees figure. Yeah. He's about the same height as the robot mode, basically. Maybe a smidge shorter, or if we just... No, he's about a smidge shorter, but he definitely has the bulk, the ape bulk here. Again, serious mass shifting if he's really going from this to that. And for accessories, he's got hands. He's got swappable hands. And as you can see, he's got his ball joints on the actual hand itself, not the arm, which is different from the traditional robot figures. And for different ones, he's got, keep popping them off, he's got these splayed out hands for doing various poses of reaching out, jumping across the jungles, just leaping around, just lunging at his enemies too. You can have him screaming, being like, "Roar!" Coming right at you. Very, very basic, but nice inclusion. Can have him looking like he's ready to grapple you, throw down in a wrestling ring. Like, come on, come at me, come at me. And then also, he has these other closed hands, which are for walking like a gorilla on all fours. So let's just quickly show him like that. And yeah, you could just use the closed fists for it, but I appreciate the more realism here to this kind of pose with these hands. I really like that they thought to do that. It's a nice addition for putting him on the shelf, but I think for just playing, messing around with your toys, I think the regular fists are the best, because as you can see, he can stand with those too. So I do think if you just want to have some fun, do some bashing around, that this is the way to go if you're Primal. Very simple, big gorilla man. Let's see if we can get him light up again. I think he actually is on right now. Yeah, he is. And yeah, he can just be like, "Roar me, big monkey, me smash." And yeah, so that's Primal, 2 Primals, very simple toys. That camera is very loose on its tripod today. Keeps shifting. So, 2 Primals, both fun toys. I definitely think robot mode is better. If you're going to get only one, get the robot. But the Beast is unique. And if you're a big enough Primal fan, then probably get both. But like if you're going to get one, I'd say get the robot. But I appreciate the novelty of the ape as well. So that's me looking at the Blokees Classic Class, Rise of the Beast, Optimus Primal, Robot Mode, and Beast Mode. And yeah, I think I have rambled on enough. So thank you all for watching, and see you guys around.
Hey guys, it's your favorite cool cat Cheetor, here to tell you that if you want to be a cool cat too, then you should consider subscribing to this channel so you can get more fun videos to enjoy. See you around!